Hi, I'm going to go over question 1 on the February 2013 newly released Common Core Sample Mathematics Questions, Grade 7. And it's a multiple choice question, and it reads, an online magazine charges companies to place advertisements on their web page. They divide each web page into a grid and sell the regions labeled below. The prices are constantly changing, so they use the following ratios to calculate charges for advertisers. The cost of region A compared to region B is 3 to 2. The cost of region A to region C is 3 to 1, and the cost of region A to region D is 4 to 1. If region A is currently selling for $600 a month, how much more is an advertisement in region B compared to region D? And then you have the following answer choices. Well, I'm going to start off by writing down what I know from the problem. I'd labeled region A, the cost is $600. I'm also told the following ratios. And one of the questions that it's sometimes helpful to answer up front if you get hung up on, why is it divided like this? Why are these the ratios? Let's think about why these would be different ratios for different sections on a web page. Which regions of a web page would people notice or read first? Those areas would be the most costly for ads. So typically in a magazine or on a website, you're going to start and look right up at the top of the page. So aside from the border, which wasn't labeled for sale, they may have their own advertisement that goes there. The first advertised area that you could purchase would be region A, which is right up at the top. So it's probably the most costly. What is the problem asking? How much more is an advertisement in region B compared to region D? What information do I need to solve the problem, and what is my plan? Well, on the previous page, I had jotted down the information that I needed. Now, if it's a multiple choice question on a test, you would simply underline the critical information or circle it and label your diagram. That's always helpful as well. So we put our $600 and we know those are the ratios. What is our plan based on what the problem is asking? Well, I know I need to find the cost of region B and region D and then subtract, because remember, the question was, how much more is an advertisement in region B compared to region D? Thinking about rates and what we know about rates, region A to region B, the cost is 3 to 2. 3 to 2, or 3 divided by 2, is 1.5. So that means region A is 1.5 times the cost of region B. And thinking about the other rates they gave us, the cost of region A to region C is 3 to 1. 3 divided by 1 is 3, so that means region A is 3 times the cost of region C. And the cost of region A to region D is 4 to 1. 4 divided by 1 is 4, so that means region A is 4 times the cost of region D. So I know that the cost of region A is the most expensive, followed by the cost of region B, the cost of region C, and then the cost of D. Okay, that's just general information. That's just part of my math sense and my problem solving, where I'm beginning the process of thinking about what must be true. Now, if you're a visual learner and you like to use fraction tiles or bars to help model your problem, I'm going to first show you a demonstration of that method. And I know that A is the most expensive area, and it's $600. And if I draw little bars, little partitions to show what each area is compared to A, for instance, C to A, we've got 3 parts C to 1 part A, because we knew that 3 to 1 ratio. So if we were to start there, A is $600, and if I divide that into 3 pieces, I know that C must be $200, the cost of region C. And then step 2, I'm going to take a look at the diagram I wrote. Now remember that the ratio for A to B was 1.5, so it would take 1.5 B's to make an A. So looking at my diagram, two C's must equal a B. And so we just determined C is 200, so 200 and 200 would give me 400. So I know the cost of region B is 400. That's 1B in my diagram. And similarly, if I take a look at the rate or the ratio for A to D, it's going to take 4 D's to give me an A. So 600 divided by 4 is 150, so that's the cost of region D. Now if I take the difference between the two, which is what the problem asked, 400 minus 150, I get $250. That would be the difference, or that would be my answer. If you prefer to use proportions, which many of us, the minute we see that ratio, we recognize that as one side of our proportion, that would be fine as well. You would have to do two different proportions. Your first one to find the cost of region B. You know A to B is 3 to 2, and you know A is 600, so you're trying to find the cost of B. And then you would go ahead and cross multiply. 600 times 2 is 1200. So you would have 1200 equals 2B. Oops, excuse me, equals 3B. Using my cross products. And then I would finish that up. I'm not going to show each step, but what would you do next? Correct. Divide both sides by 3, and 1200 divided by 3 is 400, so B is 400. Remember, we got that using our diagram for our fraction bars. And similarly, I could do the cross products in this proportion in the same way. So in this case, we would have 600 equals 4D. And then what are we going to do next? I'm not going to show each and every step, but I think everyone knows from what we did before. We would divide, right? To isolate D, to figure out what D is, we have to use our inverse operations. 4 times D is 600, so if I divide 600 by 4, we'll have our answer. And at this point in time, again, I'm not going to show every step, but if you have to do long division, you would simply do 600 divided by 4 off to the side. If it's a calculator day on the exam, you could pick up your calculator and put 600 and then hit divide and put a 4 in. So as we have it, D is 150. And then our last step, as we just showed in the previous slide, would be to subtract 400 minus 150, which is 250. That was multiple choice answer C. And we're all set. Good job.